Like, OMG, that's perfect. You know what? I think you're like really killing it in an outfit. It really suits you, slut.
All of this just to insult me. Have you had enough of my despair yet?
But sweetie, I want all the despair I can get. It's like a drug for me.
Just unparalyze me. Get me out of this damn outfit.
Now why would I do that? To my tasty yummy morsel returns, I just have to make do with an appetizer like yourself.
You whore! I'm a 4-course meal.
According to my charts, Miss Kairi, is it? You are nothing more than a third wheel of a love triangle and a damsel to boot. A failed character.
I ain't no damsel! Damn it! If I could move or use magic, I would.
Yeah, but no. Keep telling yourself that. Oh fuck, they really hit the spot. Now, where were we?
What are you gonna do now?
Oh, nothing. Just gonna pluck that pretty boy of yours. Think they'd be pretty fucking sweet, right? Now say, ah! What are you doing with that? Get it away from me. That's not where that's supposed to go. Stop it. I didn't agree to this.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh, my dissonance. This is so embarrassing.
Oh, isn't she adorable with her new costume and itty bitty paws?
Why is she dressed up like that?
It's not like I had a choice. I'm still paralyzed here.
What? You don't like it? Man, what a drag. And I went through all the trouble of super gluing it too.
What?
Wait, are you serious, Junko?
Yeah. And I even stitched parts of it to her flesh for more despair.
Why would you do that, bitch?
Oh yes, I see here. In my notes, I said I was inspired by a movie where a man gets a Santa costume glued to him.
That sounds familiar.
I'll be home for Christmas. You were inspired by that.
The best despair sometimes is inspiration, and it feels so good sometimes.
You're insane! And I knew that already.
You son of a bitch, Junko.
But wait, Kairi, there's more. I'm not gonna let you lose in the desert. Oh no, I'm gonna let you lose in the realm of darkness. Yay!
I'm paralyzed, Junko.
No worries, I popped your vertebra back in place and I put you in that costume. I drugged you, which should be wearing off soon. I think. No worries, you'll be fine.
Whoa, Junko, perhaps we should.
With your big man help will on me move her the corridor?
Don't you fucking dare, boy. I will hurt you.
Listen here, mortal. You will do as I say. I'll make you regret every single moment in your life, with the most despairing one aimed specifically at you. What will it be?
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
No, you refuse. Excellent! You will be a good minion of despair. Better get out of the way, Treat. You will go too. I hate to lose you so soon. You can't do this, Junko. This is murder.
Oh, little girl, you will help soon. We'll be fine. Now, time for breakfast.
Boy, stop her now.
Yeah, I already told you, she scares me more.
I do hate farewells, but I do enjoy seeing my work play out.
Back for you, Junko Enoshima.
Good. I look forward to it. By the way, when you see your bastard Sim, tell him what's up for me. Finally, you and me, together again, in my big old boobies. I have a few ideas when you want to continue, or in case you want to try something else.
Yeah, I'll get the game started.
Yeah.
So where did we leave off? Oh yeah, the execution of Kaede with Shuichi visiting her research lab, listening to a song she recommended. This is sad.
Aw, is the poor fat man sad that one of his favorites died? Please, don't get over it. The despair seeping from you is intoxicating.
Do you really need to rub salt in the wound, Junko?
Oh, stop being such a little bitch. We have a lot more to get through.
The baby talk, the uwu talk, it's gonna get real annoying real quickly because you're doing it only to me now.
Fat, ugly people need to shut up! And so the event that later boned the universe
The biggest, most atrocious, despair-inducing incident in human history was set into motion. That Christmas season.
I realized it, but it wasn't enough.
What the hell are you doing? I can hear you, you know.
Duh. The narration. Was it too much?
Yeah, it was a little bit too much, you know.
Well, too bad, whore!
Looked like an accident. They were running away from that group.
Was it really just an accident, though? I honestly can't believe that.
I can't say it too loudly, but they were probably killed by that group.
I thought so.
So apparently Shuichi is having nightmares of what looks like someone's funeral. Kairi to be exact, but how can that be in the future? Well, questions for later I suppose. Kairi, the ultimate astronaut, comes to wake us up in the morning and takes us to the dining hall. When we arrive, everyone is just shocked because we are no longer wearing a kinda cap. We did see that one loose strand of hair that all the protagonists have in these games. Basically that's why he wore a hat, so we wouldn't guess the twist, because Kairi had one too.
Big deal. Not like it saved that so-called protagonist from such a thrilling execution.
Ignoring you, and so for making it through the first trial, we are gifted items that unlock additional parts to the school, which include research rooms for more of the students, like one for the ultimate magician, Himiko, who for the love of God, and since it's real magic.
It's like saying my boobs are real. Oh wait, they are. Do you want to get crushed by them?
You already offered before and I said no, and truthfully, I'm not interested.
Why is that? You don't like blondes with big boobs? I'm trash, aren't I?
Look, I just don't trust anybody with the title Ultimate Despair, okay?
You don't have to be scared of little me. I'm just trying to spread despair one unfortunate soul at a time.
Hell no, the cutesy talk's not gonna work on me, so move along, alright?
I'm so bored! Better keep me entertained, or give Mama some despair. I'm dry with boredom over here.
Okay, I'm just gonna, speed it along, hopefully get somewhere good.
Fine, just don't skip past the good parts.
Additional research labs are also unlocked, include the Ultimate Maids, Karimi Tohos, and the Ultimate Entomologist, Galdern, and the Ultimate Tennis Pro, Ryoma, who doesn't really care about tennis anymore and pretty much confesses that he served prison time due to killing a mafia boss or something. Hence why his lab has a court and handcuffs, with the bathroom looking like a jail cell. And finally, the Ultimate Child Caregiver, Maki, does not give us permission for us to enter. In fact, she outright refuses to let us take a peek. Whatever. A pool is also unlocked, which is hardly filled up. Guess we aren't really swimming, but Shuichi points out one rule on the rule list in particular, that no swimming at nighttime, and the Monokumas, well, the cuz in particular, were forced to whirl. Then we also lock a fucking casino where we can gamble coins, get tokens to purchase other items. There's a few mini games here, but nothing really worth mentioning. And finally, I love Sweet called the Kama Sutra? Wait, Kama Sutra Hotel? What the fuck?
Duh! Where else are the students gonna relieve their pent-up frustration?
What are you implying, Junko?
The students who have become intimate with one another to perform intercourse of some standard, chief climax, thus improving their mental well-being.
Are you fucking kidding me, Junko?
Yeah, like, OMG, you should have seen your face. But anyway, you need a love key, which costs about 10 G's to casino to get the good scenes, but don't worry, they aren't too bad, unless you play the new Game Plus version.
Oh, okay. Wait. What the fuck? Oh, hold on, that's not gonna work on me, okay? We're gonna discuss this later. Well, we're asked to meet back up at the gym for what else? A flashback light. And now we remember the ultimate hunt. Finally some details in regards to it, where ultimates were hunted down by less talented and nice warriors. But basically Shuichi threw away his ultimate by living as a normal student with his memories erased. He basically gambled on new technology, a facility that could put your memories to sleep by controlling your brain waves. Apparently all the students here did the brain eraser. Anyway, we get some free time to, figure I would get Mew mixed in friendship, which turns out she's kind of freaky, like awkward freaky. Like once is bad, like down bad. So bad that she uses it eventually teleports the current panty she's wearing to our hands. And yes, max out friendship with someone, you get their panties or underwear as a reward, just like the last game. Mew makes it really obvious she's down bad for Shuichi.
Slut, she should just take what she wants. It's so much easier.
Really, Junko?
Duh. Knock that bitch boy to the ground and dig her heel into his booty while talking down to him. It's great tactic.
No comment. Anyway, during the night, the Mono Cubs sneak into our room and leave behind a tablet, which showcases a motivational video for Kaito.
Who's the most important person in your life?
And now, without further ado,
Kaito?
Kaito Momota, the ultimate astronaut! Thanks to his exceptional talent, this young man is already an astronaut trainee. Wow. Our team has managed to score an exclusive interview with his grandparents. They miss their grandson terribly and hope he returns to them safe and sound. But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear it straight from the source.
Kaito, as long as you're alive, I don't need anything else.
No matter what happens, you must live. You must never give up. Please, live on, for our sakes too.
Their only wish is for Kaito to live. Will Kaito be able to fulfill his grandparents' wish? Ah yes, one more thing. Shortly after this interview wrapped, these old farts suffered an unfortunate accident.
Well, that was fucked up. As we grew up with the others in the lunchroom, we learned that everyone got a moto video, but for someone else. Like, they're all mixed up. The students think we shouldn't show them to each other, while Ryoma and Kokuchi could care less. Anyway, Kaito starts having us do exercises and training at night to help Shuichi with his self-confidence. We also run into Ryoma, who basically says he has no one outside these walls and does not care if he is, to be killed. God, what a drag. But suddenly, Gonta has gone into a rage and is tracking down all the students, knocking them out, gently of course, and dragging us back to his research lab to show us how great bugs are. Well, truthfully, Kokichi wanted us together so he could collect all motive talents and force us to share them. However, a few people were able to avoid Gonta, like Ryoma, Kurumi, and Mew somehow. And it looks like Angie and Himiko are going to give us a magic show the next day at the gym. It of course doesn't seem to go right at all.
His weight loss journey was a huge success!
Wow, really, Junko?
You really gobbled him up like he was a Thanksgiving tweet. I bet he was so tasty.
You're a horrible individual. You know that?
Why'd you have to say it like that? It really is hurtful after all the trouble I went to getting rid of that slut from Roma.
Really? You trying to guilt trip me? No, I don't care. Moving on. So yeah, Ryoma has been murdered, apparently before he was even thrown into the tank. We try to ask Himiko about her act, but she keeps insisting it's real magic. Wherever we have to gather clues by checking her lab, learning the trick, check Roma's lab to see missing, nets, cuffs, and that his window in his lab connects to the pool area, and across it lies the gym. Yet, once again, after enough evidence and testimonies are gathered, we have to head to the trial area. Again.
Like, OMG, you already talked about your sick fantasies you would do with that statue last time.
And my comment still stands. So, like before, we're given a chance to set up any new skills before the trial starts. Gotta like how the people who are dead are still sort of present in the trial by just having a picture on a stand with a big red X. How even the Monokuma that was murdered during Kaida's execution has one. Nice touch. But once the trial begins, everybody right off the bat just starts accusing poor Himiko for the murder. When asked to explain the trick, she still insists on it being magic, which isn't helping her brush off the accusations. So a non-stop debate happens with us giving facts that Ryuma's death wasn't by the piranhas, but caused by drowning before the show started. Us explaining Himiko's magic trick with the escape hatch and mirrors, and that Ryuma's death happened at nighttime due to Angie and Himiko being at the gym all morning. We start going over all the people who were, stuck in Gonta's research lab. Learning that Mew's secret weapon to stop Gonta from grabbing her was taking off her clothes.
Anyway, I think the blood rushed to both of Gonta's heads because he got super embarrassed.
Mew was in her underwear, and Gonta ran away.
Well, when you got the body of a goddess, it's only natural to want to flaunt it. I show my panties to the boys all the time. And I mean all the time. So you're welcome, Gonta. Think of me during your next tug session.
Yeah, that's kind of that.
And are you any better, Junko?
My notes say something about me being the ultimate despair, nothing about me being a whore, as I would put it.
I don't give a fuck what your notes say. You wrote them.
Why do you have to pick on little old me like that? Call me a whore? talking to me, making me feel like trash. It's not very nice of you.
And what would you want me to do? Crawl through 1 million miles of broken glass in the desert just to sniff the ground that you walk on?
It's a start.
So now everyone starts to accuse Maki for not being at Gonto's research lab and while being generally distant and silent throughout most of this trial. Using a live bullet, we try to cover Maki with our exercise with Kaido at night, pretending to overhear people talking, to be exact.
I wasn't kidding you, Tasty Morsel. I want you to crawl and beg your queen for forgiveness.
You can't be serious.
I want you to do it for reasons to make it look pathetic too. Insects like Uwu just a
I flat refuse.
Well, then I'm taking over here for TV.
Oh, come on, Junko, you're gonna ruin it!
Me? Ruin? I'm only gonna make it better. Now sit back and watch as a pro does it better than you, peasant. So these scum have a non-stop debate. Boring, I know, right? Like, OMG, just let the despair seep and fester. But no, I don't get that at all. Now this hopeless bastard Soichi believes the pool area window the body was dumped into the tank from yada 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 pool rules. Ryoma Lab was right across from the pool. See the gym window? A new minigame, Psyche Taxi. Your turn, peasant. I refuse to bring myself down to explain a dumb minigame.
Really? God, you didn't even get much farther than me.
This is more for you than me, mister, and don't say otherwise, I will get that despair from your sweet lips.
In this new mode, we're deducing facts by running into cubes to make this statement and selecting the answer by running to the right woman to progress. It's a very stylish game mode and pretty fun. Once we get through all the questions and answers, we state Ryoma was drowned in the sink in his research lab and body was taken from that window to the gym's window using the tennis set, cable, and rope from other window when the pool area was closed. We then start discussing how the body was transferred across the rope, which uses another minigame breaking blocks to reveal the picture we learned in a tube was used. Finally, we accuse Kurumi of doing said crime. Aw, man. That's another character I liked!
Aw, is the big fat man gonna cry over losing another fictional character? Don't worry, another one's gonna bite the dust!
Do you really have to taunt me like this?
Well, duh. How else am I gonna get that despair flowing out of you?
Just continue, please. Fuck you. So, apparently Kurumi wasn't present at Gonto's research lab, was last seen at the gym the night before it closed. We present the black fabric we found in the pool to the gloves she wears. Another argument breaking down her defenses to the beats, stating she wore the glove while gripping her rope to swing with the body across the pool. Whoa! Stripping her literally to, oh my gosh, she's fully stripped down of her defenses. My god.
What a damn slut. She went all balls out.
Yeah, my god. Well, with that, we began our closing argument, giving the comic/manga strip style, piercing it all together.
It was then that the culprit used the ladder to reach the piranha tank. And removed the glass lid to put inside the tank. They used it as a partition to force the piranhas to one side of the tank. Next, the culprit took the rope from the stage wing in the gym and used the ladder once more, this time to climb up to the gym's window. Once there, they opened the window and tied one end of the rope to the window frame. The rope was then thrown out the window toward the pool. These preparations were key for the culprit's elaborate plan. At nighttime, past midnight, the culprit asked Ryoma to meet at his lab. All the pieces were in place. The culprit was ready to murder. First, the culprit knocked Ryoma out, probably striking him from behind. Then, they put the handcuffs from the shower room on Ryoma's wrists. And shoved his head into the sink filled with water. From the water and the pain of drowning, Ryoma should have woken up and struggled. The culprit anticipated his resistance, which is why Ryoma was handcuffed. The struggle left scrapes on the cuffs and sink, but in the end, Ryoma succumbed. Ryoma was dead, but the culprit's plan had only just begun. They removed the cable from the tennis net and hung it from the window facing the pool. And then, at the pool, they connected the wire and the rope from the gym window. They returned to the lab after picking up one last thing. The rubber inner tube that was in the pool's tool shed. Once back in the lab, the culprit pulled the cable, bringing up the rope. They pulled until the rope was taut, then tied it to the lab's window frame. And thus, the gym and the lab After making a hanger of sorts, they hung the inner tube on the rope. That's how the culprit created the ropeway that was used to move the body. An impressive premeditated murder, but the culprit made two crucial mistakes. The culprit got on the inner tube with Ryoma's body and slid toward the gym. The height difference between the windows, they would have built up quite some speed. To avoid crashing through the window, the culprit used They used their own hand to grip the rope and slow down. That would have caused significant rope burn had the culprit not been wearing gloves. But due to the friction, part of a glove tore off and dropped in the pool. Regardless, the culprit reached the window and put Ryoma's body into the piranha tank. The glass pane not only kept it also kept the piranha soaked. After that, but that's when they made their set. One end of the rope came loose, and the inner tube Thus, the culprit was forced to leave two key pieces of it. They couldn't retrieve the evidence because of the rule against swimming at nighttime. And that's the whole story. Am I wrong, Hirumi Tojo? The ultimate maid?
Well, she did it, and she goes on record that she received her own motive video. She didn't change it with anybody. In fact, everybody was to receive their own according to Monokuma, but the Cubs fucked up and switched them around, except for a few who got their own, like Kurumi. By apparently being the ultimate maid, the Prime Minister of Japan transferred all his authority to her to fix the country thanks to her talent. The country was prospering with no one believing that the Prime Minister's secretary was leading the country in the background. In fact, she is driven by the fact her citizens are the most important people in her life, but thanks to Monokuma, a great event happened or will happen to a country and people. It's why she asked Roma, who has no reason to survive, giving her his life pretty much. Anyway, Kurumi refuses to die and runs away, but her punishment for the crime is right on her tail.
I guess you could say she got let go.
Really, Junko?
Well, she loved her people and her country and fell for them hard.
You're like the worst human being ever, you know that?
Why do you have to treat me like that? I'm not that bad, just a little different, that's all. Maybe.
I'm just so depressed now. All my friends just keep on dying. I just don't care anymore.
God, I'm enjoying this fucking despair so goddamn much. Continue, treat. Mommy needs more.
So Kokichi basically calls out Maki being a liar, not who she is, saying she is, and well, I guess what? Big reveal time.
That's not your style. Right, Miss Ultimate Assassin?
Maki's the ultimate assassin?
Dun dun dun! What a twist! Miss Ultimate Kyoko in an assassin! One of the world's best!
I think I need a moment.
Man, you are really dragging this review and we're only getting started.
Look, I don't really care. Everyone I like is either dying or getting executed. And honestly, I'm losing all hope.
Beautiful, intoxicating, with sheer despair. I can really control myself, just the scummy aura your body is letting out.
Look, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go out for, a bite to eat, maybe.
Wow, if I was fat and a gigantic dweeb, I may be impressed by you.
Look, Junko, that is very hurtful. Just stay the fuck out of my way.
My studies and tests I've done show that if a shock or sudden impact were to happen to the groin area, it would bring the male recipient, well, most of them, to their knees.
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh.
I told you, tasty little morsel.
Fucking bitch.
I'll have you grovel at my feet. Freaking bitch. I hate spelling it out. Stop interrupting my game and taking away my despair.
Oh, no, not a fan.
Well, bark like a dog, Uwu. I will let Uwu play more with the spirit game or come to hate.
Wait, why would I?
Do it, Uwu. Fat man with a picture of man meat?
Oh, bark, get your heel out of my ass!
Oh man, you're no fun. I was really looking forward to some good old howling.
Oh god, I ain't gonna shit right for a week.
That's just disgusting and sad.
So with Maki's big reveal to be the ultimate assassin, the remaining students all make their way to a research lab, and yep, it's filled with weapons and shit, with each discussing why she would lie, being the ultimate caregiver.
Paranoid little worms have yet to realize that was her one thing up over them. Now she no longer has ace up her sleeve. What is one to do now?
I mean, you do have a point. They never knew what she is, or she could have killed anyone anytime without them realizing her skills. But before we can talk about it any further, Monokuma arrives with his cubs and goes bald, thinking of how cute they are. Okay, well, time for the cub uprising, because Monodam chooses to be the one in charge, now with the other cubs agreeing to his choice, calling Kuma a has-been, and time for his replacement, regardless of the fans. Nice fourth wall breaking, even summoning their mechs to reinforce it. This caused Monokuma to permanently go bald and mute with shock. Well, guess they broke him. With that said, the Cubs give us yet more items to expand the school, with additional floors with 3 empty, not too well lit rooms. Okay, kinda creepy. Additional alternate research labs for the ultimate anthropologist, Kirio, which is a huge museum or exhibit. A huge studio for the ultimate artist, Angie, with 2 doors, one that can lock and one that can't be opened from the outside, only the inside.
You stupid little man. Goose needs privacy, and how else was she gonna make the most perfect work of art?
Did you just insult me with uwu talk?
Why would you say it like that? Now they're gonna go back a clip and verify your statement.
Will you not break the fourth wall here, please?
I'm just trying to keep them entertained. These big old boobies can only do so much.
I feel like I'm having a stroke here.
I've gathered my information and done enough trial and error to confirm I can give you said stroke.
I don't know. Maybe later. I don't really feel like it right now. Rain check?
Now I can just deny you said stroke and watch you hope for one to never achieve it. I can practically feel the despair crawling on my skin.
I am loathing every second with you. The last place we unlock is a dojo, which of course is a research lab for Tenko, who is so excited she practices moves on Himiko, and then us respectively as one should. We hear a scream coming from the Mew's lab and decide to check up on it, and oh my god!
This damn slut gonna clean out all his dirty bits, including his CPU. It's disgusting.
I can't argue, because the lines she says literally sound bad out of context, even if it's meant to clean him. Moving on quickly, we break a giant mirror and find a huge computer lab. Guess it's lowered potence because we find a flashback light showing us all dead. What the fuck? That is getting very bizarre, and I should know, I'm a JoJo fan. Well, the students think it's the same and believe it to be fake. With that said, we get some free time to hang out with some students. I guess I'll do Tsumugi.
Another slut among these delinquents.
And that night, Kata during our exercise regimen brings up Maki, hoping to be friends with her. Or at least get her to open up and not be antisocial. Does hers very quickly, and she leaves us in the dust.
You guys totally got blue balls.
Ahem. Moving on, the next morning, Angie and half the students believe we shouldn't socialize with a killer. In fact, Angie formed the Ultimate Academy Student Council, whose goal is to leave peacefully in the school and end the killing game, enforcing a nighttime curfew, who we can hang with, etc. It's so bad that Atwa, the god Angie worships, he is used as a coping mech for the console, which she uses to brainwash them. It's literally a fucking goddamn cult.
Ooh, a cult! Perhaps I should stupid followers who follow me and that small-chested whore like her.
Must you make a sly remark after every female character I mentioned?
I need entertainment.
Well, if you didn't get her a Kairi, you would have had some.
Ew, that slut was a miserable excuse for a baby maker. She'll totally be a cat lady in 5 years the way that bitch is going in character development.
Has anybody ever said you're a very horrible person? I don't think people have said it enough about you.
And why should they? They're just worms that are hungry to devour. Their lives are meaningless without hope and despair. So why should I not see how far they would go for their so-called hope?
I am truly scared of you and what you wish to accomplish.
Excellent then! Continue, because we are nowhere near what I want to achieve. Barely in the prologue after all.
So the Monokumas give us the Book of the Dead to resurrect a dead classmate. There's no fucking way. But Angie's cult believe, the school council believe it's possible, and that next morning she thinks it as well, if the killing game happens, she can sacrifice the resurrected, since they're already dead. This is of course after she broke our new flashback light before we were given a chance to see what else our past had in store. Cause it's all about the future with her. This is getting really fucked up, man. We hang out with Mikey for our free time. She opens up more to us, but Kaido is not showing up for our regiment at night because he's not feeling well since the doctor bringing the dead back. But lucky for us, Tenko was just secretly trying to keep an eye on Himiko and had no real desire to force the console's rules. In fact, she wants us to stop Angie, so she takes us to the alternate research artist lab. Holy shit!
She is really skilled with her hands, isn't she?
So she made exact wax replicas of the dead students, hoping to trap their souls into one with the Book of the Dead. What the fuck, Angie? Kaido the next morning reveals why he gets sick, and it's all about ghosts and resurrecting the dead. It just messes with him. Apparently Angie's close to performing the ritual, and with Maki and Kaido with us, we head to her research lab once again to put a stop to it, with Kokochi helping pick the lock obviously, and stumble upon a gruesome sight. Oh, thank God she's dead. I mean, this whole scene is so fucking eerie and bizarre, not to mention the door being locked from the inside. But it's obvious there's a killer among us, and thus our investigation takes off once again, gathering clues about the blow that killed her, the door being locked while the other one can open from the inside, not to mention the sword stuck in the clay effigy. Korikiyo recommends if ghosts are present during a seance to contact us using one of the 3 dark, very unlit rooms. Tenko volunteers to be a host, which we put her under this cage and put a dog statue on top. We put out the lights, start the enchanting, only to not get a response from a ghost, or Angie. Quickly, everyone relights the room and removes the cage and dog statue to behold another gruesome sight.
OMG, it's a 2-for-1 sale. Death is the only payment. It's so good.
What is wrong with you?
Shut up. I'm really enjoying all the hope leaving this room and the despair setting in.
Right, go figure. So yes, another murder happens while the last one is still being investigated. In fact, the Cubs freak out about this and ask for Monokuma to come back, but guess what? The one that's been balding and silent is a decoy while the real one was on vacation. And so Monokuma says, basically if there is 2 black ones, it's first come, first served, so only a trial will be held for the first one. All to be straightforward. Tenko's killer wasted a kill, and Tenko herself is a waste of a victim. With the time remaining, Shuichi investigates Tenko's murder just to make sure there isn't 2 culprits going around, and hopefully just one. We check the floorboards, find a hole in the floor, a scythe weapon, plus investigate the body, and so forth. We now have to go to trial and find the killer for Angie, even though someone else was murdered during Angie's investigation.
Oh gee, you're gonna get turned on by sexy Monokuma again? He's such a dirty bitch.
Ignoring your comments.
Whore, you can't ignore me forever.
So with a non-stop debate and panic, 1, Kokochi admits he is the culprit, which is a lie. He may be able to lockpick one lock, but both doors were locked, and only one can be locked from the inside due to it being a sliding lock. With some minigames, we came to the conclusion that the door was locked when the wax effigy with the sword was spun around, and locked the sliding lock when the killer exited the room.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the lock-through mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
Oh my God, he just called her that? And she liked it!
A sexually promiscuous person, usually a woman or boy term, whose sexual encounters the men who ejaculate in their body cavities.
Like, OMG, she's a fat, ugly slut, isn't she?
Did you just give a definition of a cum dumpster?
Your fans were curious, right? It's not like I did a bad thing, is it? It's not like you have a fan base anyway.
You are a very feisty, evil person, Junko.
Well, we just started this double murder trial, and I'm so hot and bothered that I got sidetracked by definition.
You gave the damn definition.
Shut up. You fat, ugly people need to learn your place, and yours is to do what I say. Okay, now continue, Marcel.
Whatever. So Kokichi calls Tenko's murder meaningless since we only need to solve Angie's case. This pisses Himiko off, and she kinda has a bit of a meltdown, but thanks to various clues about the floorboard was cut in each room, so if enough weight was applied, causing a seesaw effect, killing Tenko. The noise we heard during the chant, and the fact that drawing on the ground wasn't exactly like the book, we come to the conclusion that Kokiro was Tenko's killer. Not only that, but he was the one to spy, drape the white cloth over the cage, and remove it so the weapon was always hidden. Even when it's quite obvious he did it, he denies it till we put all the clues together, and he confesses, but denies being the same killer for Angie. Did we mention the dried blood on the floorboard, Angie's head trauma, and the fact she was moved to the artist's research lab, all because Kokiro forgot to pick up all the tape he used to keep her head wound from bleeding out.
This damn weeb even wears makeup and acts like a completely different person when caught in the act.
Denies Angie's death too, prolongs the trial button, and all the clues stack up to him being the killer of both.
To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it. The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked the room. To cut the crosspieces, they needed a saw. I imagine they got one from the warehouse. They were planning to cut the crosspieces in all 3 rooms. However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened. Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations. She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting crosspieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan. But now that Angie had seen it, the culprit couldn't use the seesaw trick. Any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit. The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head. The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise. They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab. While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight. They didn't notice the duct tape had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab. Locked the front door from inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab. They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her. Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery. First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down. There were 2 reasons for this: to overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere, and the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the rear entrance. And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope. After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door. Once released, the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside. Then, this morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body. But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder. To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance. Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed. To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard. Tenko, at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next, Kokichi and I placed the iron cage over Tenko, in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage. He didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit. They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko. While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle. Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place. After the preparations were complete, we began the seance. In complete darkness, we each stood in one corner and sang the Caged Child song. When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium, but our culprit had another plan, to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide. They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard. The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage. She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the salt back to their corner, finished the ritual, and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Kenko's body. While we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle and dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room. Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned the murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark. However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle. But now we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle. Korekio Shinguchi, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders.
I give this plan a C-. It could have been a B if you'd gotten away with some of the murders.
You're really horrible.
I'm grading these insufferable little brats on their killing styles and plans.
No comment.
Come on, no despair for Mommy Junko.
I never really liked the guy, so his loss is no big deal, honestly.
This is just heartbreaking. I was looking forward to a trial, see them losing to their favorite, but I guess I was wrong.
Look, there's still plenty to go. I saw plenty of favorites. I'm sure someone will fall.
I'm trash, aren't I? I never should have relied on you for what I wanted.
So in a twisted twist, Korekiro wasn't killing for the motive. He was trying to give his sister, which by the way is his lover too. Yep, fuck, forbidden love, goddamn. He planned ahead, allegedly killed before, FYI, to send her 100 friends for his dead sister. He was planning to kill Himiko, but was okay with Tenko taking her place in the cage because he found her worthy to be friends with his dead sister.
Execute this forbidden love, sister fucker!
Oh, so that's where you draw the line.
Don't be silly, I just wanted to use sister fucker. How often do you say a bitchin' word like that? Huh, huh, huh?
Oh.
Well, that was fucky! Anyway, Himiko finally lets out all her sadness on a long cry, with Gonto taking her back to her room after she passes out. Kala goes for a walk and coughs up blood. Wait, is he really sick? Dying? What the fuck?
Is he saying that out of the ooh, you would kill with that?
I told you the uwu talk will not work on me!
Man, you're really killing the mood, and here I slaved away so much to have so much fun with all the despair you're supposed to be having!
Jesus fucking Christ! You are honestly the worst person I could ever do a review with in the entire world!
Yeah, well, ooh, a big face, poopy butt!
Oh yeah, Yeah, and you maybe don't you ever fucking call me that again. I'll kill you.
Struck a nerve, did I? In here I thought you'd be better than this. What a shame.
Here, you're doing weird fucking shit on my show, doing the ooze talk, acting like you're a smart bitch when you're really not. You might have some intelligence, but I think it'll go around to your fucking tits. And then Junko Enoshima, I'm speaking to you.
Something piqued my interest.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, oh my god, boy, you didn't say you were being haunted!
Wait, I am? Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know. How you attract so many people and things is beyond me.
This is probably not a good thing, so we should probably ignore it.
No, like, I think this is something we should investigate. Totally piss it off.
Why?
Can you imagine how much despair a ghost would bring to this show? I could practically taste it.
Look, we don't even know I'm being haunted yet. Let's just not jump to conclusions, okay?
Oh, my tasty morsel. Where there's a will, there's a way. Now go fetch me a camera, one that takes photos, preferably.
Why couldn't do that? We could just use my phone.
God, I said take photos like a Polaroid. God, you're so stupid.
You expect me to go out and find an old vintage camera that takes Polaroids?
They make modern ones. Now go on to the store and buy one. Go on now. Bye-bye.
You know what? Fine. I'm gonna go out if it gives me a moment's peace from you. I hope this ghost murders your blonde fucking ass.
Oh, trust me, boy, I'm full on hard waiting to see this. Don't keep me waiting now.